Well, good morning and welcome to our first Cadillac Google Hangout. I have 0 viewers right now, so I'm hoping people are coming on. And hey, when you come on, go ahead and text me, okay? So this is going to be kind of crazy because I actually love conference calls because I get feedback from you. You can be talking to me, and I know that you're there, even though you might have hit mute. I hear you dinging, and I'm saying, welcome to the Cadillac call. Well, welcome to the Google Hangout. And so I'm so excited that you're here, whether you're watching it live or recorded. But I'm going to give a password at the end, okay? And so that's just so that I know that you are watching and getting all of the information that you need, okay? So that, you know, a lot of times I give information on Cadillac calls or on Google Hangouts, and if you're not on it, you miss it, and I'm assuming that you know what's going on and you really don't. And so right now I'm reminding myself to give myself the password. It's going to be a really awesome password, just in case you're wondering, okay? Oh my goodness, there's 1 viewer on. I'm so excited. Welcome. 2 viewers on. Oh my goodness. So go ahead and text me that you are on the call. And like I said, I'm going to give you a password at the end to do that. So I'm going to start off with some recognition this morning. And, you know, Kim and I were just talking. It's so funny. I know my glasses glare, but people, I cannot see my notes. I cannot see the book I'm going to talk from if I don't have my glasses on. So I asked her, how do people on the news do this? And she said they take out their lenses. People, do you think they take out their lenses? I mean, so I want you to check that out for me. Because don't they wear their glasses to see, not just for cosmetic purposes? So I'm just wondering this. So if you can let me know whether people wear their glasses for real or not on television news, I want to know. Okay, so anyway, I will get going with some more interesting things. So here we go. Let's talk about our recognition. First of all, we're going to give our unit recognition, and then we're going to do the recognition that you guys have been sending to me in a Google Hangout. Oh, thank you, Trisha. Thank you that I'm looking fabulous. I appreciate that. All right, so here we go. And I will not be looking fabulous every Cadillac call, just so you know. Today, I just have a lot to do, so I had to get fabulous early in the morning. And there is an anti-glare coating. See, Kim, there's an anti-glare coating. I told you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kate. All right. So now let's get down to business. I could just talk to myself all day here. We might not be able to have a Google Hangout because I'm just going to talk to myself. Okay. So anyway, for new unit members right now, and I am going to recognize my unit because Vicky, Paul, and fabulous people are in my unit. So I'm going to give my unit recognition. With 1 new unit member right now, we have the Heidi Gelser unit, the Becky Mueller unit, the Susan Riordan unit, the Kate Unger unit, the Brandy Lampman unit, and the Jamie Lopez unit. With 2 new unit members right now, we have the Tammy Clout unit. And so you guys, remember the goal, okay? 5 and 5,000 by the 15th. Be a bulldog about that. Who is going to do that this month? Break our belief barriers all across the Gelser National area and get it done, sisters. Get it done, okay? 5 and 5,000. You can do it. Now, with over $1,000 in production right now, we have the Karis Gelser unit, the Becky Mueller unit, and the Susan Riordan unit. With over 2,000 in production right now, we have the Heidi Gelser unit and the Tammy Cloud unit. And with 6,474 in production right now, we have the Nikki Hill unit. Yay, everybody. Okay, so remember, I'm going to give you our goals again, so we're not going to forget them. Remember, our first line, my first line goal is 15,000 personal wholesale production every month. We have 2,000 in. For the first line sales directors, my first line sales directors, the goal is 95,000. We have 13,142 in. For second line, it's 65,000. We have 4,000 in. And for third line, the goal is 10,000. Okay, and we just have a little over under 1,000 in for that. For wellness bonus, that ends this month, sisters, December 31st. Let's take some money home for Mary Kay. Already earning the top wellness bonus is Nikki Hill with $2,000 bonus on January 15th. Already earning the $1,300 bonus is Tammy Clout. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Already earning the $800 bonus, we have Susan Riordan, Jamie Riley, Trisha Bless, and for the first time ever, Karis Gelser getting that $800 bonus. Super exciting. And sisters, the rest of you are so, I wrote down so close, so close. This is what you have left, okay? So it's counting production you already have in for the month. This is what you have left. Amanda Collins, you just have 3270 wholesale left to get the bonus. Jamie Lopez, just over 5,000 left. Kate Unger, right now, 7636 left. Becky Mueller, 10,449 left, okay? Terry Wilson, 12,805 left. Megan Cruz, 14,332 left. Brianna Douglas, sorry I said your name wrong on the box yesterday, Brianna, 17,676 left. And Brandy Lampman, 19,294 left. You guys can all do it. Could you imagine having our entire national area with the wellness bonus? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm going to give your weekly recognition. I just checked out the Google Doc that you guys sent. I love it. I love it. We're going to attach points to it this week. Because remember, the directors with the top 3 points for this month, the month of December, we are going to then have you on the advisory board to help with the training in the month of January. Okay, so get excited about that. So here we go. We're going to recognize personal faces over 10. That's the goal, of seeing 10 personal faces a week, which is 2 parties a week, sister. 2 parties a week. Okay, we're not going anything under that. So with 11 personal faces, Tammy Clout. Terry and Kate both had 12 personal faces. Congratulations, you guys. And Susan had 19 personal faces with her open house and parties. Congratulations. All right, with sales, and we're going to recognize you with over 500 because that's the bar, as Mary Kay said, $500 in sales for sales directors. All right, we have Amanda Collins with over 500, Trisha Bless with over 500, Terry Wilson with over 500, Kate Unger with over 500. Oh, so exciting. Now we're moving up with over $790 in personal sales. Tammy Clout, congratulations. That is hitting on target for quarter sales right there, you guys. A little bit higher than that is on target quarter sales. And officially with on target quarter sales, Susan Riordan with $1,523 in sales. Congratulations. She's already on target with the company and she's staying on target with her weekly sales. Get excited, you guys. Come on, you can do it. All right, new bookings. So excited about your bookings. I'm like a crazy person on this video chat here. Okay, with 5 or more new bookings, that's the bar. I know you sent me your numbers and that's awesome. Keep sending them to me no matter what they are. But with 5 or more new bookings, we have DIQ, Michelle Superapp. With 6 or more new bookings, we have Becky Mueller and Tammy Clout. With 10 new bookings for the week, you guys, Jamie Lopez. Congratulations, Lopez. Super excited for you, back on track. And with 13 new bookings for the week, Trisha Bless. Now, Terry, thank you so much for putting out there your question. You know, I asked the question, what do you need help with this week, or what do you want support with? Sorry, that's a more powerful statement. What do you want support with? And Terry really talked about booking during December. Terry, I couldn't give you better training than what Trisha Bless did tonight. And after I'm off this Google Hangout, Kim is going to put it on our Facebook page, and she's going to email out the Boxer message, not the Boxer, the recording that Trisha did last night at our Movement Up night about booking in December. Ridiculously awesome, ridiculously easy. And that's why Trisha has 13 parties. I think she actually has 15 parties on her books for December, you guys. Oh, I'm freezing up. Maybe it'll come back. It came back last time. Okay. Can you hear me, or is my face just frozen? Kim, are you still on it? But my face is frozen. I'm just looking at myself frozen, but you can see me? Okay, then I'm just going to keep going even though I'm looking at myself frozen. Okay, super. All right, so now, oh, I'm back again. Okay, so now we're going to go with new unit members. New unit members. Okay, this is from last week, so it's not from the first of the month. It was from, you know, last week it ended on a Monday, okay? So new unit members, we had Brandy Lampman has 1 new unit member so far for last week. Susan Riordan has 1 new unit member from last week. Tammy Clout has 2 new unit members from last week. And Amanda Collins, by finishing up on the move, congratulations, you have 5 new unit members for last week. Guys, if you can get 5 in a week, you can get 5 by the 15th. It's a mindset. And that's what Brianna Douglas talked about last night. When she finished Fabulous 50s in the month of December, she needed 19 new, you guys. She entered the month with 31 21 unit members and needed 19 to hit fabulous 50s. And they did it because it was a mindset. And she broke her month down into 3 parts. She really breaks December into 3 parts. Number 1, by the 15th, what are you going to have in by the 15th? And I know her personal goal is 5 and 5,000 by the 15th. What are you going to have in by the 21st, before the holiday week starts, where people really slow down, the 21st to the 26th, right? And then what are you going to have in by the 31st? So are you breaking your December into 3 months? The 15th, the 21st, and the 31st, okay? Thank you, Brianna, for that brilliance. All right. And now with 5 or more unit faces. So this is in addition to your personal faces, you've been in front of your unit, okay? With 6 unit faces, we have Terry Wilson. Congratulations. She's really encouraging her team members to bring people to her events that she's already doing. And with 9 unit faces, we have Amanda Collins, and she's doing the same thing. She's really using events at her success meeting to get people in her unit there. Okay, so anyway, that information, Terry, is going to be sent out to you how to book during the holidays. Now, what Kim wanted me to tell you is that this Google Doc link is going to stay the same all the time, okay? So we'll just get rid of the one from this week. We're going to save it actually on my hard drive, and so that we can look back, you guys, because this is going to be a great tool. I talked to Crystal Trojanowski, who is the one that suggested or gave me this idea to do this Google Hangout and do the Google Docs. And what she talked about was it's such a great tool. So it really is important that you participate in it, in my opinion, that you actually send me your information every week, because then we can look and see what's going on. You know, it's a weekly track record. The one on the Mary Kay website that they give us for our monthly tracking is awesome, you guys, but it's a monthly tracker. This is actually going to track your weekly activity to see where you're strong, and then to see where you want to be better, to be honest with you. So when you're looking at it for the week, we're going to add a point system to it like I talked about. And as I talked with the DIQs yesterday, it's important, Mary Kay said, never just take what you get. It's not supposed to be that you look at this Google Docs at the end of the week on Sunday night and go, oh, I saw this many faces. Oh, I saw this much product. No. What's your plan today if you haven't already said it? How many personal parties are you going to have? How many interviews are you going to have? You know, maybe that's a thing to add to that, is actually the interviews. I'm writing that down, okay? So that you're tracking that, because if you want 5 new team members by the 15th, are you tracking 10 interviews a week? Are you tracking 20 total unit interviews to get that done? Do you want $500 in sales? Are you tracking it? Don't we talk to our consultants like that? We're like, don't fill out your weekly plan sheet as you're, don't fill out your weekly accomplishment sheet as you're sitting before the meeting, right, you guys? Oh my gosh, I sold $299. No, that should never happen, okay, you guys? Have your goal and get it in front of you, and then go for it, okay? That's what I'm excited about. And then it's going to help me coach you. So as we're looking, that's what Crystal says all of her coaching takes place with. She pulls up the Google Doc for the past weeks, and she talks about this with them and says, this is where you're doing great. Tell me what you feel like you want to get better at. But you can look at the actual numbers and not just pretend, you know, like everything's okay when we know that it's not. So it's also going to help you self-coach. You know, you are leaders, and that's what every one of you is getting so much better at, is self-coaching, and really looking at what you're doing and say, okay, this is where I want to get better. This is where I want to get better. So participation matters. You know, show up to go up. Nikki tells her people, you know, I had a conversation with her yesterday, a lot of conversations actually. Did you hear what I just said? A lot of conversations. We actually talked in the morning at like 7:45. We actually talked because now we're having a senior Google Hangout. Get excited to be a senior sales director, because once a month the senior sales directors get together on a Google Hangout and we talk about leadership and how to lead our people. Once you have a DIQ, you are invited to be on that senior Google Hangout, okay? So not just when you're a senior sales director, when you have a DIQ. So there's yet another reason, besides my favorite things, besides building, you know, people, is to get DIQs, guys, is to get an extra hour a month of mentorship. She was on the DIQ call that we're doing, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that in just a second, what we're doing for DIQs. And then she went to the Linda Chupin guest event, which she said blew her mind. It's the best guest event she's ever been to, and I'm excited because she's bringing it to Madison next week. So get excited, those of you who are coming, get more guests. She said that Linda Chupa signed almost 100% of the guests there, and so Nikki is going to bring what she learned and share it with us at this Madison guest event. She's seeking wisdom. But when Nikki, in one of our conversations, what's my point about this? Leaders seek mentorship. Nikki never feels like she's bothering me. I never feel like she's bothering me. I'm so excited because I've learned more from her than she ever learns from me. I want to tell you that right now. But leaders seek mentorship. Are you talking to your mentor like all the time? Okay? Are you talking to your mentor all the time? If you're not having conversations with your mentor, she doesn't know what's going on. So Nikki talked about when we train people, like right now, when I'm training you, this is your practice. Consider it like a basketball game. Okay, it's basketball season. This is practice. This is where you're learning. I'm going to train you in just a second. But when you're playing on the court, that's when you get coached. But my friends, if you're not in the game, if you're not holding appointments, you don't need any coaching. Does that make sense? So get in the game, and then your mentor will be able to coach you better. You know, Becky Mueller talked about that. She really took what Nikki shared last week about the teams and the relays and handing the baton back and forth. And now she has things to coach people on because they're in activity. When you're working, there's something that we can have conversations about. You know what I'm saying? So get to work, sisters, and I know that you are. You know, another thing, lots of things are just coming to my head as we're talking about this. You know, I was talking to a DIQ yesterday, and she was having a conversation with me about emotional management. And she said, I just need to fill myself up more. But she's a person who always fills herself up. She's very good about that. She listens to CDs. She listens to TED Talks. She reads all the time. She's always growing. And I made the comment, I said, you know what I think the best form of emotional management is? Activity. The best form of emotional management is activity. You guys, when we stop thinking and we start doing, your emotions will take care of themselves in this Mary Kay business. You know, as Nikki has often said, action precedes motivation. Is it important to fill yourself up? Absolutely, and that's what you're doing right now. But then it's important to do both and. It's important to fill yourself up and work. Okay, and work. Get into income producing activities. Don't think about it. You know, we know this, you guys. Sean Key has said it a million times. Your mind is like a bad neighborhood. Never go there alone. Stop thinking so much. Have a time where you're intentionally growing. Have a time set aside where you're reading and being on this. But then go to work, you guys. Don't think all day. That's not going to do anybody any good. So what we're doing now for the DIQs, and I want you to know this for your future as you're building leaders, because that's what we do, is that number one, I'm making a new video. I'm having a computer, God willing, delivered today, because this computer sometimes shuts off, and I was making the DIQ video, and it simply shut off. So I was like 12 minutes into it, and it was done. So I'm like, okay, I'm making this video when I get the new computer. But I'm making a welcome video for your DIQs. That, you guys, here's the strategy behind this. I want them to watch the video before they submit DIQ. I want you to hear me again. I want you and them together, or you would challenge them if they live out of time, to watch the video and then have a conversation with you about it before they enter DIQ. And here's why. I want them to understand the commitment that they're making before entering DIQ. It's not simply pushing a submit button on the computer. That's too easy. So what I'm going to ask them to do, and what I'm going to ask you to do with them as you're building DIQs, is to print off the DIQ commitment form. Back in the day, it was this piece of paper that we physically signed and we sent into the company. And it's powerful. And you're making a commitment. And so I talked to the DIQs or the pre-DIQs on that video about that. I talk about New Director Education Week. Do you guys understand that in the letter of intent when you become a DIQ, you say you will go to New Director Education Week, and you're signing it? It's not an option. Mary Kay asks us as sales directors to go to New Director Education Week. And then I talk to the DIQs about what I expect of them in our national area. And on this video, I'm going to tell them that, yes, you make 3 times the money as a sales director, absolutely. And you get a beautiful suit as a sales director. And you get great Christmas presents from Mary Kay as a sales director. And you get lots of perks. But that's not all. With great responsibility and perks, I mean, actually, with great perks comes great responsibility. And that in our national area, that I believe in this company, that we are to be servant leaders. And that means showing up for things. And I'm very bold in this video. And I'm talking to them about what it means that it is the requirement to be a sales director, that it does take 20 hours of work a week to be a sales director. It does. If you want to get paid like a sales director, you must work like a sales director. And we can't take that away. It's 20 hours a week. And that's a conversation they need to have with their spouses, to let them know that, you know what, it is 10 hours outside of the home and I can do 10 hours inside the home, but I need to work 20 hours a week. Is that going to work with our family dynamics? Okay, my friends, that I'm holding 2 parties a week. I'm giving them the 20-hour Cadillac plan, that I go to success night. I also talk about director meetings, and I encourage growth. And I say that if there's a director meeting within 3 hours of you, to go to that, whether it's awesome or not, you know, whether you feel like you're getting anything out of it or not, that you go and that you bring our ideas, that you bring your ideas and make other people better at this director meeting. I talked about leadership is not an option. Career conference is not an option. Seminar is not an option. That's what we do as leaders. But you guys, I feel it's very important that people know this on the front end of going into DIQ, what kind of commitment that they're making. It's not simply 10 active, and it's not simply being a star consultant. It is committing to leadership. And I'm going to be honest with you, I would rather lose them on this side of DIQ than on the other side of directorship. Okay? And I would rather have them know up front what it's going to take. And I would rather have them fall down in DIQ than in directorship. Do we fall down? Oh, we absolutely all fall down. We fail. And to understand that it's okay to fail, you guys. It's okay to make mistakes. And that this is a loving family. And I really talk about that too. So as I'm bold with what their requirements are, I'm also bold about the sisterhood and that they want to be a part of this. And it's the best absolute place, I believe, in the entire universe to grow personally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. So that's what's changing. We're having a video that they're going to watch. I'm also going to make them a month 2 video if they go into month 2, and then a month 3 videos that they're seeing my face with this, okay? We're also having accountability calls every Monday. And that will switch, the times will switch depending on who the DIQs are. But right now we have 6 DIQs in our national area, and they have a point sheet just like you do as sales directors, and they turn those into me and their sales directors by Sunday nights. And they are getting it. It's so exciting because, paper doesn't lie, like Lori Mayfield Banks says. Paper doesn't lie. We can go through DIQ, we can go through directorship in La La Land and think that we're working, and we're really not doing what we need to do. And then we're surprised when we don't meet the requirements. I don't want any surprises. And it's also no sister left behind. It creates a family. The DIQs right now are from Texas, from Michigan, from Wisconsin, and from Colorado. They need to feel that sisterhood, okay, that they're going to do this together. So there's weekly calls for the area DIQs. There's this video, there's an accountability sheet. And then I will be shooting them a midweek video. Just so, maybe it's going to be of me, maybe it's going to be of one of you that's doing something awesome. Maybe it's going to be a sister national sales director, whatever. But it's going to be just a little jolt in the arm, because I think that's what we need, right? As we're moving up, is just camaraderie. So just wanted to give you those thoughts about that. And go ahead and box me on the Galesburg area Boxer. Your thoughts about this. This is what I don't like about this Google Hangout, is I'm not going to get feedback immediately. And you know me, I crave feedback, good or bad, I crave it. But your thoughts about anything that we're talking about today, about the DIQ process that we're hopefully getting better. And then, get excited about this. In the new year, we are going to start then a new director process, okay? So new directors are going to have accountability calls every week. This is going to be where they're with their whole family, but the new directors will have a half-hour accountability call where they give me their points to each other. And they'll also be reading this book, okay, The 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John Maxwell. The new directors will be going through that so that they get a solid foundation for the first 6 months of their business. And are you guys excited? Are you excited that we're getting better together? Okay, so now is the time to have DIQs. Now is the time to offspring sales directors, because they will have a better support system that they have ever had before. And that's going to free you up to grow as a leader yourself and to offspring more sales directors, because you're not going to feel overwhelmed that you can't handle it. I'm super excited about this. Okay, so, and then what I'm going to share with you is, I did share this last night. I've been sharing it, but it's going to be more. I promise you. Don't get off this Google Hangout. Remember, I've got a password for you at the end, okay? But I want you to watch this to the end, because I'm going to share with you my excitement about the chapter 1 of this. I mean, I'm just digging into this book. Again, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, okay? The law of intentionality, that's chapter 1. Growth doesn't just happen. And I'm here to tell you, I am super excited about the growth that you guys are having. Holy cow. When I hear you train, you are blowing me away. When I hear you do recognition, when I hear you on your own individual conversations that are having with people, you are blowing me away. Okay, but this is what I want you to learn. And if you already know it, then pass it on to your people, okay? Because as Nikki talked about with me last night, Linda Tupin did not talk about the marketing plan like at all at her guest event. She didn't. They don't even know they make 50% and everybody signed up. She talked about the culture. She talked about personal growth, and that's what people are looking for. She promised them that if they signed their agreement and showed up. Now, she just didn't say you get your $100 starter kit and you're going to be great. She said you get your $100 starter kit and you show up for training and you will be better in every aspect of your life. And haven't you guys seen that? You know, Nikki shared with me that Christy Torrance, who used to be a sales director in Nikki's area, is now the #2, I think, salesperson for Time Warner Cable in the state of Texas. That makes me cry. I'm so happy for her. Do I wish she was still married to Kate? Absolutely, because I love Christy and I miss her and I don't get to spend time with her anymore. But she took her Mary Kay training, what we have here, you guys, and she has exploded into the career path that she chose. So, you know, get excited about growth, because it's going to help you in Mary Kay. It's going to help you in your relationships. It's going to help you in your communities, okay, you guys? You are literally changing worlds when you decide to grow. So the first gap that he talked about is the assumption gap. I'm assuming that I will grow automatically. You guys, growth takes work. And work is sometimes not easy. And you need to be willing to grow. And that's about doing those accountability sheets. Is it convenient for you? I'm sure not. Do you want sometimes to do it because you don't like your numbers? I'm sure. But you guys, that's part of growth, being intentional about things like that. And, you know, he quotes Bruce Springsteen, who says, a time comes when you need to stop waiting for the man you want to become and start being the man you want to be. You guys, stop waiting for the woman you want to become and start being the woman you want to be. And that's what we've talked about before, is making your list, making your qualities of the characteristics of the women that you're looking for, but more importantly, the woman that you want to be. And I'm going to make that list again. You know, it takes time, you guys, to make that list. It takes time to make power statements. It takes time to accept constructive criticism from people and really put it into use. You know, #2, so the assumption gap. And you guys, you know this yourselves, but are you working with your people on this? Especially your new consultants. You know, the people that you already have in your unit, they might not listen to you right now. Let's be clear. They may not be ready to listen to you. They may be moving on to something else. But with your new consultants, are you being powerful about this? Are you really telling them how important the success night is? Or are you glossing it over? Well, you don't have to come. That's not required. No, stop. Stop. If they want to be good, they need to show up. They do, you guys. And be powerful about that and be bold. And if they don't want to show up, then they don't get your time. Plain and simple. They don't get your time. The place where they get their training is success night. And if they choose not to be in their space, they need to be bold and say, you know what, I simply cannot keep God first, family second, career third, and live my life the way that I want to if you don't show up to success night. I don't have time to train you outside of that, right, you guys? Because they're not in the game. They're not in the game. And you know what Crystal Trojanowski said? That is the same with her sales directors. You know, we don't have a problem with that in our national area, but talking with your offspring about what's expected of them, that they will get coaching when they're in the game, when they're showing up. If they don't take this Cadillac time and put it to use, then why should their national sales director or their senior take time out of this to train them on things that they could have already gotten? Does that make sense? You guys, it's all the same. It's all the same. Every level is the same in this business. Okay. Number 2, the knowledge gap. I don't know how to grow. You know, if you listen to Amy Allgood's CD about the 5 levels of leadership, she talks about that level 3 leaders have a plan. They have a leadership plan. Do you have a leadership plan? Do you know what you're reading for the month? Do you know what you're listening to for the month? We need to hear things 7 times before it gets into our brain. Don't be scattered all over. Did you take time this month? If you haven't, it's not too late. It's never too late to get a leadership plan, to sit down and really evaluate what you did well and what you're going to do better for the month of December. Do you have a plan? Okay? This is interesting. If you are clear with what you want, the world responds to clarity. If you're clear with what you want, the world responds to clarity. It's very interesting, because, Nikki was talking about new national sales director Jeannie Tamburillo. And, Jeannie had a lot of fallout as she was building to national. She would be an elite executive and then fall back to future executive, but she didn't quit. And in a year and a half from that happening, she finished that national area. You guys, it's interesting how the world works. It responds to your clarity. If you are clear about a Cadillac, things will start showing up for you to earn a Cadillac. But if you're waffling on it, my friends, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so be clear about what you want. He said most people learn only from the school of hard knocks. Let's get it into our brains that wisdom does not have to always come from failure. Wisdom can come from intentional learning. And that's why we're really being intentional with the DIQ plan, because we want them to not do everything that we did wrong, right, friends? We want to put it up front. What can you do better? When you have 10 parties on your books, you will be better, right, than I was, okay? I did 1 month normal. In month 4, you don't have to do that, okay? Don't do all the bad things and learn from that. Learn from us, okay? So that is the law of knowledge that you can learn from other people. Number 3, the timing gap. It's not the right time to begin. My friends, I'm going to talk to you about earning this Cadillac. Now is the time. Now is the time. The law of diminishing intent, and we've talked about this before, but it's always good to say it again. The longer you wait to do something you should do now, the greater the odds that you will never actually do it. 10% of the sales directors drive Cadillacs, according to the numbers that we've gotten. I promise you 90% are gonna. 90% are gonna someday. Okay, it takes a committed decision. I honestly don't care what your unit size is today. I honestly don't care what your production was in November. It takes a committed decision to say, we are going to build, we're going to do 10 plus T. I'm going to be a bulldog about 5 and 5,000, and I'm going to see the faces, and we're going to finish that Cadillac. But when you're committed, your people are committed. They want to believe you. Remember, they believe in you. They absolutely know that you, as their sales director, with the pictures behind my head here, every single one of you, they believe in you. They know that you could earn a Cadillac, but they've got to believe you. You see, Linda Castillo, when she was sales development director, she said, I can't read what she said. She said, the longer you wait to reach a goal, the less your unit believes you. The longer you wait to get a goal, the less your unit believes you. My friends, now is the right time. Now is the right time. He says the reality is you will never get much done unless you go ahead and do it before you're ready. Unless you go ahead and do it before you're ready. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care what the company says. I don't care what anybody else says. Go do it. Go do it. Okay, number 4, the mistake gap. I'm afraid of making mistakes. This is a quote that Mary Kay used to say all the time, and it's from Robert Schuller. What would you attempt to do if you knew you wouldn't fail? You guys, most people don't attempt it because they're afraid they're going to do it wrong. It's better to do something wrong than to not do it at all. Mary Kay used to say this business is 90% attitude, 10% skill. You know, people recruited in December. We asked them last night, why did you recruit in December? And they said, because someone asked me. Because that's what they said. Because the opportunity presented itself. Someone asked me. You guys, I'm afraid to talk to people because we're making all these assumptions in our head about what they're going to say. No, just go out there and do it. Stop thinking, and simply do. Okay, you guys? You know, our kids have, my daughter has a very good coach right now. He's the principal of our school, and he's coach Caleb Book. And what he's great at, he's great at allowing kids to make mistakes. They don't get yelled at when they make mistakes. If you have coaches who yell at your kids when they make mistakes, find a new coach, find a new team, because kids will be afraid to try anymore, okay? They can make a mistake, and he'll pull them aside and he said, hey, I'm so glad you tried that. What can we do better with that? That's coaching. That's coaching, you guys. Go out there and try something. Be ready to fail. Fail miserably. I remember being at a career conference the year before we became a national area. And if you've been in my national area very long, you know that we talked about national for a long time. And someone who didn't think that I was hearing what she said, wow, you know what, I really feel sorry for Heidi. She keeps talking about being a national area, and it just keeps not happening year after year. And I let that bother me for about a half hour. And I said, well, doggone it, I'm going to keep talking about it until it gets done. And did I make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. Did I not do great coaching along the way? Absolutely. Did I not work my personal business enough along the way? Absolutely. But we stand before her as a national area. You guys, I'd rather go for it before I'm ready than not go for it at all. Remember that. And don't let somebody else steal your dream. Don't let their crazy words of inadequacy steal your dreams. Number 5, the perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I start. And that's really what I'm talking about. It goes with the I'm afraid of making mistakes. I had to get started if I wanted to find the best way. You guys, don't be afraid to just go out there and do something. Number 6, and this is where I feel like a lot of us fall down, and maybe not you as leaders, but definitely your people. The inspiration gap. I don't feel like doing it. You know, Lisa Madsen, when Vicki Paul asked the question, what's the difference between national sales directors and everybody else? And Dr. Baxter, who works with national, said it's the coping mechanism. And I think what he means by that is that no matter what happens in a national sales director's life, she keeps working. Whether it's tragedy, whether it's death, whether it's illness, whether it's mental anguish, whether it's moving, whether it's divorce. A national sales director keeps working. It doesn't matter if she feels like it. It doesn't matter if she feels like it. I to be honest with you, I don't ask myself that question in the morning. How do I feel? I don't ask myself that question. I go to work. The night before, I made my list of things to do, always. Except on vacation. Even on vacation, I make myself a list because I'm such a fanatic. Because I hate to get out of a routine. I make a list, like what I'm going to do on vacation. Like I'm going to sleep till this time. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to go shopping. Seriously, it's probably a sickness, but I do that. But you guys, this is what he says. Just do it. We hear it almost every day. Sigh, sigh, sigh. I just can't get myself motivated to lose weight, test my blood sugar, etc. We hear an equal number of sighs from diabetes educators who just can't get their patients motivated to do the right things for their diabetes and for their health. We have news for you. Motivation is not going to strike you like lightning. And motivation is not something that someone else, a nurse, a doctor, a family member, a sales director, a national sales director, can bestow or force on you. I wish I could sometimes, you guys. I hear the pain in your voices. I hear the frustration, and I just want to say to you, you know what to do. Just do it. Just do it. Even in the hard times, just do it. The whole idea of motivation is a trap, he says. Forget motivation. Just do it. Exercise, lose weight, test your blood sugar, get bookings. Do it without motivation. And then guess what? After you start doing the thing, that's when motivation comes in and makes it easy for you to keep doing it. Motivation is like love and happiness. It's a byproduct. When you're actively engaged in doing something, it sneaks up and zaps you when you're least likely to expect it. You're more likely to act yourself, listen to this, you're more likely to act yourself into feeling than feel yourself into action. You're more likely to act yourself into feeling than to feel yourself into action. Wow, that's profound, and I never even highlighted it before. And then the last one, the expectation gap. I thought it would be easier than this. Didn't you, right, you guys? We thought it'd be easier than this to earn a Cadillac. We thought it'd be easier than this to do the National Court of Sales and Sharing. We thought it'd be easier than this to have a doggone offspring sales director. We thought it'd be easier than this. But if it were easy, everyone would do it. You guys are the top 1% of a $5 billion company. It's not easy, but it's simple and it's worth it. You know, I was talking to a consultant yesterday, and her husband wants her to earn $1,500 a month. Well, you know what? That sounds simple in Mary Kay, right? Because we hear about big numbers every day. But you guys, let's be clear. $1,500 a month to a person who makes $10 an hour is a 40-hour work week. Do you understand that? People are out there working 40 hours a week for $1,500 a month. For people who make $15 an hour, it's a 30-hour work week. For people who make $20 an hour, it's a $40. It's a 20-hour work week. Okay. So for people who make $10 an hour, it's a full-time job to make $1,500 a month. For people who make $15 an hour, it is 30 hours a week. And for people who make $20 an hour, it's 40 hours a week after taxes to bring home $1,500. You guys, why should we expect to make money in Mary Kay when we're not working? We all know this, and we're back to work. And I'm so proud of you. You are working that 20-hour work week. You are working IPAs and more, because we know Mary Kay used to say, why should I give you a free car if you're not working for it, if you're not holding 2 to 3 parties a week? Mary Kay also used to say, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. You guys, be proud of the work that you do, because it changes lives. Be proud of being an entrepreneur, because you guys, entrepreneurs work like other people don't, but they have lifestyles that other people won't. Entrepreneurs work like other people don't, but they have lifestyles like other people won't. You know, Kate Unger got to take her family on a whim to Washington, D.C. for a 2-day road trip. Those girls will never forget that. Vicki Paul, when you were at seminar, Mary Kay gave you a trip to Florida because you showed up. They'll never forget that. You guys, what fairy tale things are you doing while you're beating yourself up? Becky Mueller, you got to travel across the country when your parents were ill and got to bring your family for their funerals because of your Mary Kay business. You guys, entrepreneurs do what other people don't, but will have lifestyles like other people won't. It's worth it. So what's your gap, you guys? What's your gap? Write it down. Vox it to me. Be honest with yourself. Private vox me what your gap is. Is it the assumption gap for growth? I assume that I will automatically grow. Is it the knowledge gap? I don't know how to grow. Because it's not that, because you guys know how to grow. Is it the timing gap? It's not the right time to begin. Oh, sister, stop that. Is it the mistake gap? I'm afraid of making mistakes. Is it the perfection gap? I have to find the best way before I start. Is it the inspiration gap, which is usually mine? I don't feel like doing it. Is it the comparison gap? Others are better than I am, and I think I forgot to talk about that. Others are better than I am. Or is it the expectation gap? I thought it would be easier than this. Which is the gap that you're going to bridge to grow into the woman that God has created you to be? And finally, he says, rework your calendar so you have an appointment with yourself for personal growth every day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. You might be thinking, what? I don't have time for that. And that's probably true. Do it anyway. If you want to succeed, you need to do whatever it takes. Haven't we talked about that? Whatever it takes. Get up an hour earlier, stay up an hour later, give up your lunch hour, put in extra time on the weekends if you don't have time during the week. If you don't, and this is just hits me right here, if you don't, you'll have to prepare to give up your dreams and any hope of reaching your potential. And that's not who you are. That's not who you are. And so our word, our password is potential. That's the password. So if you've been on this all the way through, you're going to text me the word potential, whether you're watching it live or recorded. And I pray that this served you this morning. You know what? I loved it. I actually loved being able to have a conversation with you, that you can see my face, that you can hear my heart. Now, next week is going to be right after the Madison Cash Giveaway event. And so we are going to invite all of the sales directors who go to that event. You're going to be live on the Google Hangout next Saturday morning. So we can get up to 8 people live on the chat that we can be having conversations back and forth. So you're not just going to see me next Tuesday. So those of you going to the Madison event, I want you to prepare 5 minutes from the training that you're going to get on Monday from Nikki and from the other sales directors. And you're going to be sharing 5 minutes. Now, you don't have to look cute on that morning. We all love each other, whatever your day looks like, but you're going to be on here live. Okay, you got that on your calendar, on the Google chat, sharing 5 minutes of what you get from next Monday, and it's going to be amazing. So I love you guys. I believe in you. I hope this Google Hangout served you. If there's anything that you loved about it and or don't love about it, put it on the Gelser area box so that we can see your thought process about it. And have a fabulous, fabulous, powerful Tuesday. Bye, everybody.